I'll wait for the clock to officially hit 5:30 on my my computer. All right. All right. It is 5:30 on the 11th of April, 2021. And I call this special meeting of the Town of Ledyard Permanent Municipal Building Committee to order. This is a special meeting being held via Zoom. And we'll go ahead and get the meeting started here. So first item up is the, after call to order is the roll call. I'll begin with myself, Steve Jeskowitz, chair.
Jerry Chivinsky, member.
Gary Schneider, member.
Steve Munger, Board of Ed.
John
Wayne
Marshall, Town
Donaldson.
Council.
Wayne Donaldson, Ledyard Public Schools.
Stephen June, Silver Petroselli.
Dan Hetzler, ONG.
All right, with that, we have a quorum. All right. So tonight's meeting is just to get a couple things approved, which will help move things along that are timely in nature. So we'll go through the agenda here kind of quickly. All right, so our items on possible action on the Ledyard School Improvement Projects include change orders that will allow us to, at our next meeting, receive the final bill on the Gallup Hill School. So the first I have here is change order 231 revision 2 from ONG Industries for the Gallup Hill School, dated 5 April 2022 in an amount of a negative $356,608, which will is the return of unused GMP contingency funds. That change order is in order. We discussed it at our last meeting, and that should be the final, and it goes along with the next one as well. So with that, I move we accept a change order.
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Tominski. Is there any discussion? I see Kate DePalma Herb has joined the meeting. Kate, were you on for the motion?
I caught the tail end of it.
Okay, we're on number 3 on the agenda, the motion to approve change order 231 R2. I just make sure you heard it all before you can vote. And it has been seconded by Mr. Tominski. There appears to be no discussion. All in favor of approving the change order. 231 Romeo revision 2, signify by saying your name and I. Steve Jeskowitz, aye.
Jerry Chivinsky, aye.
Gary Schneider, aye.
Kate DePalma Herb, aye.
Steve Munger, aye.
With that, the ayes have it, and that change order is approved. Next item we have is change order 232 revision 2 from ONG Industries. This is the final bond cost and insurance adjustment based on the final costs of the, as we've been adding items onto, even though we just took some money away, as every time we affected the GMP, the final amount of a GMP has to be adjusted with the final invoice, which is what we'll see here. This is a change order charge of $4,899. Change order 232 R2 dated the 5th of April 2022 for final bond cost adjustment. And I move that we accept the change order.
I'll second that one.
Seconded by Mr. Tominski. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the change order 232 revision 2, signify by saying your name and I. Steve Jeskowitz, aye.
Jerry Chivinsky, aye.
Gary Schneider, aye.
Kate DePalma Herb, aye.
Steve Munger, aye.
With that, the ayes have it, and that change order is approved. Dan Hetzler, that should be the final change orders on the Gallup Hill School. So at our next meeting in 3 weeks, we should see the final closeout invoice, correct?
Correct. Actually, Steve, you'll see it hopefully by the end of the week, if not early part of next.
All right, let me rephrase that. I meant see it on the agenda, and as soon as you get that to us, get it to Lisa, we'll get it distributed, and then we'll move forward with that.
Will do.
All right. All right, that takes care of that. Steve June, you signed those invoices on the 5th, so I don't think you have anything to add, correct?
Correct. Yes, correct.
All right, thanks, Steve. All right, no problem. Let me jump back into my agenda. All right, that takes care of the Ledyard School Improvement Project items. We got some more about on the summer project items. Steve June or Dan, you're welcome to stay on if you like, but you're not needed for those, and you can probably have dinner. And we'll see you in a few weeks. All right. Rolling back to my agenda. All right, so what we have here is attached to your agenda, we have information related to two projects. The first is the Ledyard High School Auditorium renovation project. And in this particular case here, Wayne talked about this at our last meeting. We received bids back that exceed the amount that was authorized. We were authorized $440,000 for that work. We're short about $18,556, but the total project cost is at $458,556 based on the bids. And you'll see attached there, I had to go through this for a couple times. Was Wayne, a little confusion here. Is Soundstage the only people that bid on the video and audio?
Downstage is the only people that bid on the video and audio. There were
Okay.
2 bids for the flooring and the curtains.
All right, so I see where you've laid out the best options here for that. It's really 3 different companies. We have the stage, the curtains, the flooring, and the video and audio.
Correct.
Just quickly, while we're waiting for town council to approve, we're gonna need bid waivers here in addition to a bump up of the funds. At this point here, my understanding is you just want the PMBC to approve the work pending the bid waiver and the increase in funds from the council.
Yes, that way I can get moving because a lot of this order time and stuff is going to be dramatic. If we wait until after your May meeting and everything, then, we're really cutting it close.
Right, that's understanding. You talked to it at the last meeting. Now we have actual numbers to look at here to be able to vote on, and I appreciate you getting that to us.
No problem.
So at this point here, so the the motion I have, and I think the language in our minutes, discussion of possible action on this, so we're in good shape. The Ledyard High School auditorium renovation, the motion is that the PMBC approves the request for bid waiver and increase in funds of $20,000 to give a tiny bit of cushion there. So that the additional money moves from the Board of Ed CNR fund, and with those approvals, authorize is Wade Donaldson to proceed with the project. Does that work for you, Wade?
Yeah, that covers me getting the contract over to the mayor for signature.
Good. I think in this way, time is of the essence because the pricing goes up by the day almost.
Okay.
And you want to get this work done for the summer. So
Correct.
so that motion is made, and after it's seconded, if I've screwed it up any, Kate, the way it needs to be done, let me know.
Do we want to add, I just asked a question. I agree with going ahead. If I'm reading this correctly, Wayne, you only have $1,500 worth of contingency in this?
Yes, we had a lot, about 10% built in. Well, not 10%, about 10,000 built in originally. I do have a little bit of flexibility because there's a few items if I get stuck that I can have my crew do, which will reduce the contract amount. So I do have a little play on that end.
I gotta vote for it. I'm just said, what would happen if we ran over here and we got to stop?
Well, I'm pretty, they've got a fixed bid that they have to comply with. I'm not expecting any surprises in here.
Okay.
It's not like we're digging a hole and we don't know what we're going to find underground, or opening a wall that we don't know what may be behind it. This is all pretty much exposed and ready to go.
Okay,
All right, so at this point, a motion's been made. I'm looking for a second.
I'll second.
that. Oh, go ahead.
Kate spoke first, so second by Kate Baum-Herb. And with that, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the motion, signify by saying your name and I. Steve Jeskowitz, aye.
Jerry Tominski, aye.
Gary Schneider, aye.
Kate Herb, aye.
Steve Munger, aye.
Okay, with that, the ayes have it. That motion is approved. Also in that same chunk of the agenda under Roman numeral 5, number 1, the last 2 items there, Ledyard High School wood and metal shop renovations, along with a worksheet there. Let me just call that up on my screen so I got the right numbers. And if you read the narrative that Wayne provided there, this is not the work as originally outlined by the council because they authorized the funds to be spent on updating of classrooms. While granted, the wood and the metal shop are technically classrooms in a sense because they're used for wood and metal shop classes. It does not pass the test of being, what the town council authorized the funds for. So we have time to do this, and we want to go back, and we're doing it because of inability to obtain material we needed for the summer renovations in the classrooms. So with this part here, we'd like to go ahead and do the I'm going to call it safety related work in the wood and metal shops. So with this here is we are approving the projects pending the town council approval of the funds for this purpose. And that way we can get some stuff locked in before it gets too late in the summer and we have to kick it a whole year to the right. So with that, the motion is to approve the Ledyard High School wood and metal shop renovation projects subject to town council approval of the use of the summer 2022 funds for this purpose. Motion's been made. Seconded by Kate Palmer Herb. Is there any questions, discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the motion, signify by saying your name and aye. Steve Jeskowitz, aye.
Larry Jaminski, aye.
Gary Schneider, aye.
Kate Palmer Herb, aye.
Steve Munger, aye.
Okay, with that, the ayes have it, and the motion is approved. Okay, that's the last item I have. We're a special meeting. Our next regular meeting in May will tackle additional things. And subject to that, I think we have to adjourn at this point. So,
Steve?
yes,
Can you send over the auditorium to town finance? We've already sent over the wood and metal shop.
okay. Would you send that? What you have on the agenda is all we need to send over, correct?
Yep, that should do it. And that'll get it on their agenda. I'll attend the meeting if they have any questions or anything.
Lisa, can you also kick that over to them as well? I'm about to run out to another meeting as well, just to make sure that they have that.
To the finance committee, Wayne?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
That'd be the first step.
And just so that they know, yeah,
Put
just
it
so
on
that
their
they,
next agenda.
And that's just the auditorium one?
Yes, we already submitted the other one to Bill Soms.
and if you could just carbon back the Board of Ed finance people on that as well, so they have it for their record, that'd be great. All right, thank you very much. With that, I think we need to adjourn a special meeting. Thank you for coming on tonight. 15-minute meeting, it's good. Thank you all for your service to the town.
Thank you. Good night.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks. Good night.
Bye.